What's up? What's up? What's up? And welcome to another edition of Man's World. As always, I am Desmond Mosby, and I'll take this opportunity to let my brothers here introduce themselves. Go ahead, fellas. Say a little something to the people.
What's up, y'all? What's happening?
What's up? What's up?
Uh, we're a little worried because our brother Fernando is not with us, but we are sure and confident that he will be joining soon because he does have today's question. So I will try to prolong my opening spiel for as long as I can until he gets here. But today's episode, just to let y'all know, the title of today's episode is Pocket Change. I know Blake keep a lot of that. But gentlemen, how was y'all's weeks? What happened in the week since the last time we saw each other? Anything popping? Anything fun? Anything that you did? I know before we came on air, Jamal was telling us that he actually saw Jodeci New Edition and Charlie Wilson live. You want to tell the fans about that, Jamal?
I'm gonna tell you. I put in on my Facebook post that it was like me going back to my cassette days,
Hey,
and it was true. It was true. Jodeci brought it. Uncle Charlie really brought it, and New Edition brought it also. New Edition, surprisingly, had all 6 members come out. You know, sometimes it would be like 5. Sometimes somebody would be missing. Had all 6. Bobby was there and Johnny was there. So they all did those old school dances, man. Like, I mean, they sang every single song, I believe, that they made popular, and even Johnny Gill and Bobby broke down their little and Ralph broke down their little single songs that made them that got them good too. So it was packed in there, ladies and gentlemen. It was packed, but it was a very good concert. If you ever get a chance to go see the Culture Tour with New Edition, Jodeci, and Uncle Charlie, please. Even if you're sitting in the nosebleed section, you're gonna have a good time.
so this
Did you see some cougars, Jamal?
Oh, you don't understand. You don't, bruh. It was cougars, lions, and bears. Oh my, up there. You don't understand. All wearing high heels with like the heel like this big. You know, the heels is this big.
So this brings back because Jamal mentioned something that made me think. Y'all remember the cassette tapes? Because I'm old enough to remember cassette tapes. I know Blake, I know you remember cassette tapes, but y'all remember the cassette tapes. Whenever that joint got the little tape was pulled out, you had to take that pen or that pencil and put that bad boy back up in there to get.
And if you didn't have a pen, you would stick your pinky in it.
Oh yeah, that was about the only finger you could get up in that joint, right? Get that pinky up in there, get that tape back in. Cause and I remember, to be completely honest with you, I remember before obviously the whole streaming services, the Spotify and the Apple Music, like really the only way that I was able to get a song if I didn't want to go out and buy the actual CD, because a lot of times people was making CDs and I really wasn't listening to every song on the CD. It might be a single that I heard that was like got me hype and I wanted that single. And I remember recording on cassette tapes. The single would come on the radio, so you had to be ready.
But look,
I'm driving across my bed to hit the record.
But look, that'd be an all-day thing. You have to sit there and wait for that song.
Yeah. And every now and then, you got the radio DJ in the background. He yelling and fussing and all that good stuff. But Desmond, you were so happy when you got that tape, right? You were so
Desmond,
happy.
What would you do if you was recording and somebody came in the door?
bruh.
I'm recording.
Half the time I would pause it because they didn't already ruined it. So, because then I would be listening to the tape, and in the background you hear, boy, if you don't shut that dang noise down.
Then you have to rewind it to get it right back to where it was
Yes,
and get
grandmama.
ready to start it again.
Yes, grandmama. Yes, grandmama. I used to get so creative with like tapes, though. Not only cassette tapes, but also VHS tapes. I remember double taping.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, that's what I do.
I remember just doing all kinds of stuff. I remember the power of the VCR was like it for me, and I kept VHS tapes on lock. Like they were like a prized possession for me for quite some time. Like every time I went to the store, I would buy VHS tapes, the 4-pack. The 4-pack of VHS tapes. You take them mugs back home, rip that plastic open, and you house them somewhere so that when that movie came on and that show came on,
You ready?
you ready. Record on that bad boy, yo. Good times, good
Put
times.
that sticker on the front of it, and
Yeah.
write what movie you had on it.
And yo, I had gotten to a point where I was developing systems. If I didn't want you to know what it was, and I'm not saying that everything that I had was like anything bad or anything, but if I didn't want you to know what it was, I created a system where it was like initials of words, like this is this episode or whatever the case may be. Like I had a proven system. If you go to my grandparents' house right now, they still got my VHS tapes like sitting in my old room. That's how legit.
Awesome. That's
That's how
awesome.
legit it is. But I was reminiscing the other day about my childhood, and the way I was reminiscing was I was thinking about Bruce Willis coming out and now saying that he's no longer going to be acting, and Jim Carrey coming out and saying he's not going to be acting, and all these people that are coming out now saying that they're not going to be acting. I know, right? I know we got both of them. Y'all see Fish and Fernando on here.
What is that fish?
It is fish. That is fish.
What?
That is fish. But I remember my childhood, right? And I was thinking about my childhood, and I'm thinking about all these actors that when I grew up, like they're no longer determining they're going to be acting anymore. And I started thinking about Jamal, and I guess something we've talked about, all the wrestlers that I grew up watching, like your Shawn Michaels and your Triple H and your Undertaker and your Stings and your Ric Flairs and your Hulk Hogan's and your Scott Halls. Scott Hall is dead. Shawn Michaels got a messed up eye. Sting got a receding hairline, and all these cats. And my childhood is freaking gone, right? Like it's completely gone, and I really don't know how I feel about it. I really don't. But I don't want to hold us long. We do have our brothers Fernando and Fish on, and Fernando does have today's topic. But I want to lead in with something that happened in the last week that is probably the biggest news to happen in the last week. And I want us to, if y'all want to talk about it, certainly feel free to talk about it. If you don't, I'm not holding that against you. But I'm going to start off. It was actually the biggest slap probably seen on television. And we're going to talk about it. I can't believe it. Essentially, at first, I thought it was a joke. But I will say that after research, it was not a joke. And the Tar Heels gave Coach K the biggest slap on national television. Yes. Y'all thought I was talking about something else, didn't you? We don't talk about Jada. I'm talking about the Tar Heels defeated the Duke Blue Devils in what was possibly the biggest slap on national television. Coach K went down in his last game due to a defeat by my North Carolina Tar Heels. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I did not think that they were going to make it this far. Like, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I had no belief in my mind in this team. I'm not going to lie to you. But they got hot at the right time, at the right moment, and they are playing for the national championship against Kansas on Monday night. And I am hyped as I don't know what. If you can't tell, I'm hyped. I sent these brothers the UNC logo 5 times last night. That's how hype I am. To all you Duke fans out there that talk trash, Y'all some haters, and we going to the national championship, baby! I had to say it. I had to do it. I had to do it. We don't talk about Jada.
I have a question. Was there any sort of rift? I guess I read about this, but like, did the Duke players not shake hands at the end of the game? Was there something about? I've seen like a report on that. I don't know whether it was true or not.
I don't know if there was some shaking of hands. I do know that there was some hugging between players. That
Gotcha.
that did occur. I can attest to that. So I don't know if that was, them determining we're not gonna shake or whatever, but there was some hugs between Duke and UNC players that happened. There might have been some players that didn't participate, but it is what it is. Coach K went out. Mad props and mad respect to Coach K, one of the greatest coaches in college basketball, period. Mad respect and mad props to him. But shout outs to Hubert Davis in his first season as UNC's head coach, making it all the way to not only the Final Four, but also to the national title game. That is big.
I just I just looked it up again because I didn't know whether it was true. Apparently, like a lot of the Duke players didn't shake hands after the game.
Mhm.
Coach K did, but like a lot of the players just kind of like blew off the UNC players.
Mhm.
I know.
It's the biggest rivalry in
Yeah.
college. But to me, it's the biggest rivalry in sports. I know I've told y'all several times, being a Lakers fan as well as a Cowboys fan, I don't hate any team like as much as I hate Duke. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't hate any team as much as I hate Duke. I know I give Nando a hard time about his 49ers. I don't even hate the 49ers. I know I give Chris a hard time about his Bears. I don't even hate the Bears. I give my stepdad as a Cowboys fan. He's a Redskins fan. I give him a hard time. I don't even hate the Redskins like that.
I have to deter on that.
But I hate the Blue Devils from the bottom of my, like the pits of my, just right here. Just I hate them, right? And so I will carry that hate to my grave. My Aunt Lane actually made me a Tar Heels fan. God rest her soul. She was a big Tar Heels fan. And I was talking to my wife actually about this the other day. It was funny because my wife likes the Tar Heels, and apparently she claims she liked them before we met. Just like she claims she likes the Cowboys before we met. Just like she claims she liked the Lakers because of Kobe Bryant before we met. And it's like, you like all the teams I like, and I don't think you liked them before we met. Stop lying. But we were talking, and she was like, I fell in love with the team because of the colors. And I was like, that's not why you fall in love with a team. And I was like, well, my aunt, she was the same way. She loved that baby blue Tar Heel color. And I watched because of her and have loved them ever since. So I'm gonna stop talking. Anybody else got anything that they want to talk about that happened during their week?
No, I will say that slap that we were talking about, the Jada and Will thing.
We don't talk about Jada.
I can understand it on both ends. I can understand why Will did what he did, but I don't condone how he handled it. I don't condone that, but I can understand that. When things happen, sometimes your emotions just go off and just snap all of a sudden. I think he just snapped and made a very rash decision. And if I was him, I would have probably waited to a break or a commercial or something. They went up and said, "Hey man, that's not cool," blah blah blah, and they could have squashed it right there. But now he did something that made national headlines now, and he's going to get punished still by the academy. I don't know what they're going to do, but he's going to get punished by them. But I can understand why Will did it. I just don't condone how he handled it.
I got a bigger question: is what happens now with stand-up comedy going forward?
That's my concern.
Yeah.
Right, like that's my concern, because now comedians are actually coming out and saying, you got those on both sides, right? You got comedians that are come out and saying, if you come up on this stage, it's gonna be problems. And then you got other comedians that are basically saying, I'm afraid to go on stage now for fear that if I say something wrong, that somebody's going to come up on stage.
I mean, you have everything with Dave Chappelle going on with Netflix. You had that whole saga too, and now you have this with Chris Rock. Is stand-up comedy going to be around much longer? So it's a gray line.
Yeah, it would be painful for stand-up comedy to go away.
Yeah.
I love my humor. I love being able to laugh. But certainly to your point, Jamon, I will say this. There is not a time that I would never, ever not defend my wife. I will defend my wife whenever she needs me to stand in and fulfill that responsibility. However, I also understand that the greatest thing that my wife ever needs from me is for me to be there. And in Will's case, obviously he's got a lot of money. He might be able to beat whatever could potentially happen to him. But in my case, like if I was to go and assault somebody or hit somebody or whatever the case may be, chances are they're going to press charges against me. And chances are I might do some time and whatever the case may be. I will never, ever put myself in such a situation where I'm going to jeopardize all of it, right? So that I can't be there for my family. Unless the circumstance actually calls for it. Like if somebody's obviously bringing violence against my family, then I understand at that point I have to defend my family by any means. But in this case, yes, I'm like, dude, you didn't have to do that. There were other ways you could have handled it.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm gonna say. Cause we don't talk about Jada. No. We don't talk about Jada.
That's awesome.
It was the Oscar night. They were getting ready and everybody had on their dresses. Chris Rock's on stage giving the award. I'm gonna stop.
Did you just make it? Did you just make that up?
Right on the spot.
That's awesome.
You really did. Created a whole song, though.
Bro, that's what happens when you're a creative like I am. Your mind is constantly going. This happens at night, bro.
But Fernando, we can talk about
I was waiting to start the question.
We can talk about everybody's memes coming on there now. How many memes are on social media now of Chris Rock? I've seen WrestleMania memes. I've seen Civil War memes. I've seen
Fernando's
Robin memes. I mean, is that going overboard, Fernando, or what?
Yeah, I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, I think at this point everybody is. Like, I think at this point everybody's kind of like, okay, it happened. Let's move past it. Let's move on, because now all you're seeing, everybody's still talking about it, and the media is just taking it and obviously running with it. And it's like, come on, like there's other stuff happening. All kinds of other stuff happening that we need to know about and want to know about. Y'all just keep driving this Chris Rock, Will Smith thing to the ground.
The war in Ukraine was like put secondly behind that. That was crazy.
I will say I would be interested to go see Chris Rock shows now.
He's in Richmond, I think.
I did see that. So
he gonna talk about that first.
We'll see. Anybody else? Anything happened in the week? Blake did make mention that my Lakers lost the last 6 games since we actually saw them, and they are trash and out of the playoffs. But as stated before, my Tar Heels made it work for me, so I am good. We're going to move on to today's question. As I mentioned, today's episode is entitled Pocket Change. And so now I would defer to my brother, Fernando, for today's question. And this should be very interesting conversation that we have surrounding this topic. So, Fernando, take it away, my brother. And happy birthday again to you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Fernando.
For those that don't know, the last 2 years, Desmond has been late wishing me a happy birthday.
Calling you out.
Can
2
I
days
say
last
though?
year, 1 day this year. So that means next year it'll be right on time.
Can I say? Can I say?
How
Can I
old are
say?
you, if I may ask?
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing to that?
Yep.
So I was 2 days late and 1 day late. I don't remember anybody else in the group saying anything. So
That's fair.
This is you deflecting.
this is me Aquarianing.
I was gonna say
Deflect.
classic Aquarius.
Yes,
Deflection.
yes, we are.
And I'm doing the classic Cancer. I'm like, oh man, did I really miss it? I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Feeling emotion for you, man.
Mhm.
I am 43.
Woo!
Nice.
Nice.
So Fernando remembers cassette tapes too. We were talking earlier
And
about
8
having
tracks.
So I'm the oldest one on this panel here.
We already knew that, Jamon.
I really didn't. Well, I did, but I
You
was
thought Nando was older than you?
no. I was just hoping Nando would have said.
You did.
I was hoping Nando would have said 40, man.
All right, so let's run that back before Nando gets to his question because I'm trying to figure out which one of us you thought was older than you.
Oh no, I didn't. I knew I was the older one. I knew I was the older one. I just wanted y'all to be like,
yeah.
I wanted y'all to be like, yeah, Jay, you the oldest,
Yeah.
You
you
know
the
I'm
wisest,
younger.
you the
DEST.
wisest. That's what I want y'all to say. Wow, crickets. Wow. Go on to your question, Nando. Go on to your question.
So what's something about yourself that's minor? You don't really necessarily need to change it, but you also don't like the fact that you do it. You know, like something small, maybe I don't know, you bite your nails, right? Something like that. So let's start off with you, Jamon.
It's
Oh,
funny that
wow.
you said bite your nails because when we were talking about this yesterday, like me and Blake were trying to figure out ours, and that was the example Tanisha gave. She's like, bite your nails. We're like, okay, I guess that's a good one, but I don't bite my nails. So
Something that's minor about myself. I don't think it's really minor, but I sometimes, and Mike knows this about me too. I sometimes don't speak my mind to people. You know, people can usually I'll be in meetings and things like that, and people will talk and say, "This is what we're going to do. This is what we'll do," and I take that all in, and then after the meeting, after it's too late, I'll come home and then I'll be like, "Well, no, I should have said that. I should have said that. I should have.
classic answer.
I should have opened up. I should have opened my mouth. I should have said it. I should have done what I had to do. But it's too late now. Well, it's not too late, but it's you had that opportunity to say something, and you didn't take that advantage, and now you losing sleep over it. Now you're feeling some sort of way because you didn't do what you had to do when it could have been, resolved way earlier. But now you're feeling some kind of way. So
Yeah.
and I've been like that for a long time, and as long as I've known myself. So but it's just I wish I could. There's some people that can just walk up to you and be like, "You ugly and your mama ugly too," and then not even care about it. And I mean, I don't know if I want to go that route, but I just do wish I would would want to say what I see what you're still doing, Desmond, but I just wish I would have more of a gumption to step forward and say what I gotta say before it gets I guess to another level. So that would be mine.
The flexibility.
Yeah, there you go, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way like in every situation, or is it just like I guess what I'm saying is, do you feel like in every meeting that you attend, there's maybe a time when you feel like you're supposed to say something,
Well,
or you should have said something?
I won't say every meeting, but when you have, like, say you want to talk to your boss about changing schedules, you want to talk to your boss about certain things, and then you get in there and then you ramble everything that you need to say, and then you leave and you're like, man, I forgot to say that. I should have said it another way. I could have, and then, but it's too late. I just never have it. Some people can sit there and just all of a sudden just say exactly what they need to say, everything they need to say, put it on the table. But for me, I'm always forgetting like an important part that I needed to say or something that I should have said differently. And that always happens because I'm always second guessing myself. If you want to put it in a whole, you know, a whole thing, I second guess myself a lot. And as I said, Mike, on this, I talked to Mike a lot of times about, should I've done this way? Should I've done it this way? Should I've done it this way? And I'm always second guessing myself after, you could have made your decision earlier. You could have done what you had to do. You could have done more research, but now you're second guessing yourself, and that's always not a good thing.
Stress.
Definitely.
Very
Yeah.
stressful.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, and it all goes back to just being indecisive, not being a good decision maker.
And I don't even know how you necessarily change that, right? Like I don't think there's a right or wrong way to change that, and I wouldn't know how to even go about telling somebody how to change that, because I think a lot of times what would happen is that that person would still in some instances have those feelings, right? Like they would still go into a meeting and still feel like, okay, everything that I wanted to say wasn't said, and still come home stressed and thinking about
Yeah. Yeah.
To
I don't
me,
know.
but go ahead.
I said, I don't know. I agree with you, Desmond. I don't know if there's a way to really get better on that unless even if you write stuff down on a paper or something and go through it that way, you still could have forgotten to say something because you just never know what the other person's going to say or how they're going to react. And then that could throw your little thing off, could throw your whole plan off on what you were trying to say.
I will say that you're not the only person that feels that way. And I'm sure with everything that we're going to say today, we're obviously not the only people that feel this way about whatever minor change it is that we're discussing. So kudos to you for admitting that.
Mine's like, and Jamon, like mine's kind of eerily similar to yours, and like, yeah, you and I have definitely talked about it, but like, I feel like I have, where I kind of go with the flow of everything too, as well, where I may sometimes not like what the situation is, but I may still go along with it, and where I may not like speak, hey, this is like the time where I should have, spoke like, how I think and how I feel about the situation, like that's kind of like my thing as well. So they're kind of like eerily similar, but like I know you and I have like talked a lot about just specific situations as well. And, like second guessing things,
Right.
that's a big thing. We're just like, accommodate. I guess, and you were saying too, Desmond, it's not a bad thing. It's just you're an accommodating person. Yeah, and you're a very flexible, accommodating person. I am.
Yeah, but do you think that can be hurtful in situations, being too accommodating?
I think it can be, but I think more so that it causes that thing that we talked about, which is the stress factor, right? Like I think more so that's where most of the hurt comes. Like not necessarily from the other person that you're always accommodating, but from the stress that you're dealing with because of the fact that you're you're thinking to yourself always, like, I should have said this, I should have done this, this person I shouldn't have allowed them to do this. Like, you're always constantly thinking about that.
Right.
What about looking at it also like this, to where if this person is doing it, you have the information and you have intel now about this person and that you didn't before.
I think that's helpful. I
Yeah.
think that's helpful because you can kind of, I guess, learn. Like, I guess some people in the world are people readers. I consider myself a people reader, so I can kind of tell and read people and read people's, what they're trying to do, what their personalities are, and all kinds of stuff like that. So I think if you're able to do something like that, Fish, that might help, right? Like, because now
Yeah.
I know that this person time and time again has done this. Maybe now I know when I go into my next meeting, I'm more prepared,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It'll better prepare you for situations with this person, and also too, like, if they're just going to be feeding you BS, you now know more information about them, and you can decipher it whether or not you believe it or not, which you may not now, instead of them kind of string you along. So yeah,
Fish.
that was me the other day when Khalil Mack got traded. So that's
Looks like you got to be accommodating right now, baby.
Yes, that's your
yeah.
Oh man, interesting. Kudos to you both. Kudos to you both for admitting that.
Yeah.
How about you, Desmond?
I think mine, and call me out if this isn't what you were looking for, but I think mine would really be overcommitting. Um, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because a lot of times I'll be able to do everything it is that I say I'm going to do within given time and due time. But sometimes I tend to overcommit myself to people, to events, to all types of things, that sometimes I should be able to just say no. Like, no, I can't. Like, I can't do that. I can't do that, and I can't do that necessarily on your time. It has to be on my time, which I'm doing better of. Jamal will tell you. Jamal will be like, we got to do this. We got to record this. And I'll be like, no, Jamal, slow down. We'll get to it. But yeah, I tend to sometimes overcommit myself. I used to do it heavily. I was telling Blake earlier. I was heavy. It was bad. And my wife would get so frustrated with me. Like, she would get so mad. You done said yes to this, that, and the third, and everything else, and when you gonna be home? And it's like, yo, I'm sorry. Like, I'm this person, right? And so that would be mine, overcommitting. If that's not what you were looking for, call me out on it.
No, I think that fits.
Do you see because I do this for work also, but do you see like everything also as kind of almost like, I'd say, at least for me, like, I take multiple jobs and I see like one as possibly like, if I take all these jobs, maybe I'll hit like a lottery ticket on one and it will grow into something else. Do you see that as yourself as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me take on all this responsibility. Something's gonna pan out, and I'm gonna blow up in something, or blow up doing something, and it's gonna be phenomenal. And then you'll recognize me for what it is that I've done.
Yeah.
But yeah, over commitment, over commitment is something that I am terrible at.
Yeah.
Do it regularly. Blake, where'd you come up with? My original one was to drink water more. That was my original one, because I was like, I got to drink more water. Like,
what do you drink too much of anyway?
Oh, caffeine, bruh. Pepsi, Mountain Dew. You can catch me with one. We go through cases. Let me rephrase that. I go through cases. My wife and the kids, they drink lots of water.
I was gonna say, I mean, I thought you drank a lot of water.
Oh,
Thought you did.
Jonathan, Tanisha, Aaron, and Jackson drink a lot of water.
Oh, wow.
Desmond drinks a lot of Mountain Dew and Pepsi. Yes.
Wow.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
How much would you say you drink?
Uh, mm,
Cans.
A day.
I could probably go through 5 cans a day.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Do you drink more like if you're going on a trip or something like that, and you get to like, you can like fill up one of like a big truck? Yeah.
No, not really. So
Really?
I'm gonna tell you like this: it's not a problem when I go out on trips. It's not a problem if I'm going out to eat. It's not a problem during those times. It's really only a problem when I'm at home. Like if we was to go out to a restaurant, like I don't like, and I order a Pepsi, like I don't get refills like that. Like I don't like when they come back and they're like, "Can you get a refill?"
Word.
My soda is still all the way up to the top. Generally, I might sip when I'm at a restaurant or something of that nature, or on a trip or whatever the case may be. But when I'm at home, it's a different story. It is a completely different story. And I keep Mountain Dews and Pepsis in the pantry, and pop a cold one. And half the time, if I'm in the back room, I tell Jay, run up to the front, give me a Mountain Dew, some ice. Here he comes.
Dad move.
Definitely a dead move. I'm sure we all experienced it. Boy, you don't come in here, hand me that remote right quick. The remote's like right there.
I'm like that with sweet tea though.
Oh man.
And the bad part about it is I'll do that. What you said, Blake. I'll do that. The dead thing with Aaron too, and Aaron will run down, and she'll tell you when she get in the room. Oh, I shook it up. By the way, I'm sorry. Like, was you running fast? Why did you shake myself? Don't open it yet, Daddy. It shook up. So now I'm mad because I'm like, I gotta wait for my Mountain Dew that I've been craving for like the last 5 minutes.
As I said, I'm like that with sweet tea. I'll go to McDonald's and buy that gallon, and I'll be honest with you, if I'm good to go, I can go through a gallon within a day.
Oh, I could do that with sweet tea too. But Tanisha's thing has always been like ways that she can get me to drink water. So even if it's like flavored water, those little things, those little singles that you put in the water, she tries her best, and I'm just like, yeah, no, it's not cutting it.
I don't like those little powder things you put in waters. I don't like those. It's not.
Bring me my Mountain Dew. You better bring me my Mountain Dew. I always say to myself, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die because I enjoyed life to the fullest. I ate that steak every freaking day because I loved it and I enjoyed it. And I'm gonna get to heaven, and God's gonna be like, "Yeah, your arteries was clogged," and I'm gonna be like, "God, you shouldn't have let that cow come down there, dude. Come on now."
I'm trying to drink this. I don't like this though. The sparkling ice.
Oh,
my wife loves it.
I don't like the carbonation. I don't like it, but I do like that Propel water by Gatorade.
I just drink seltzer water.
Huh?
Seltzer?
I said I drink seltzer water.
Oh, really?
To stop drinking Coke, yeah.
I got to do better.
It don't have no taste to it, Fernando.
I love it now.
It's just carbonated water, though, right?
I drank it for like 3 years.
Yeah,
there's some that have flavoring.
You got in the habit, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got in the habit. Once you get in that habit, you find I can't find myself getting in the habit. Because I'll be like, And there are random times when I want water. Like, I will admit that there are random times when I'm like, yeah, a cold bottle of water is good. Like, if I'm out here cutting the grass, I'll come in and I'll look at Tanisha. I'll be like, I'm so thirsty. She'll be like, well, there's a Mountain Dew in the fridge. And then I'll be like, no, is there a cold bottle of water in the fridge? Those are the only times. But I really need to do better. I do.
Have you tried like just filling up like, one of those big, 64-ounce, bottles or whatever, and just like leaving on your desk, or just I'm with you too. It's just hard to like try to shove. Yeah, it's hard to shove down like 12 glasses a day.
Yeah, it's hard,
especially when you get older.
It's hard for me to. It's hard for me to go to get a bottle and even
Yeah.
drinking, right? Like I'm sipping on it 9 times out of 10, and just little baby sips.
Yeah. It's like so vanilla too. It's like you go to an ice cream place, there's 32 flavors, and do you want water, vanilla, or do you want like you said, Mountain Dew, one of the extreme delicious? Yeah.
Exactly. Give
Get
me
that.
flavor.
So Mountain Dew is your to go because I guess Dr Pepper would be mine.
I would say Pepsi is actually my to go. I love a good cold Pepsi. Yes, I'm a Pepsi guy as opposed to Coke. So when we
I
went
agree with that. I like Pepsi rather than
so
Coke.
when we went to
Pepsi's
Atlanta,
trash.
huh?
Pepsi's trash.
Oh, you're not worried about you.
What do you like? What do you like, Fernando?
Coke.
Coke.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
Coke is trash. Y'all can go to Atlanta.
Dr Pepper's where it's at.
I like Dr. Pepper.
I like Mr. Pibb.
Yeah,
Mr.
Fernando.
Pibb too. I will say I like Mr. Pibb as well. But yeah. More water would have been my other one.
Try Gatorade, Desmond.
I don't like Gatorade. I told Tanisha yesterday maybe because I know Blake keeps a case of Powerade in his refrigerator. I told Tanisha yesterday I do like that red Powerade. Maybe I should start drinking more of that. But I would get it. I know me, I would get it. And then the rest of it would sit in the refrigerator. Because I would go right back to that Mountain Dew. And Mountain Dew cold. Oh, snap.
Is it just code? Is it original or code red?
Oh, I would mess a cold red up. I would mess a cold red and a lime wire up. Tanisha, we go to Taco Bell, and Tanisha got me hooked on that Mountain Dew Baja Blast. We pull up at Taco Bell. What you getting, Des? Let me get that quesadilla. Let me get that Mountain Dew Baja Blast too. Throw that on in there with it.
I didn't realize there's another Baja. What does it taste like?
I can't describe it. It's got a good flavor to it, unless it's flat. Like
Ain't it green? It's green colored, right?
green color.
It's blue.
It's like a greenish blue.
I had it before.
Blue.
I like it. I like it. She got me hooked. And the thing about my wife is she'll still be the one that makes all these, she'll say these things like you need to drink better, blah, blah, blah. But then she enables all my habits. Like her being the nurse, like when we found out I had high cholesterol, we're at the doctor and she's like, honey, you've got to do better. You've got to eat better. You're not going to leave me here with these kids, blah, 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 whatever. And then we leave and she's like, you want to go to Burger King and get a Whopper? It's like, you just completely enabled to my cholesterol. Like, come on now, honey. Come on. But enough about me. Blake, what is yours?
I think mine would be I have minor incidences of road rage.
No, not Blake. I disagree.
No, you don't know, Jamon. Y'all, look.
I'm being
Very minor.
I'm being sarcastic about that.
Ain't no minor. Y'all saw what y'all saw when we were up there. Jamon and Nando, what y'all saw was nothing compared to what I hear on the phone when he calls me. When he calls me, it's the scariest thing in the world. Like he is laying folks out.
Hey Blake, you need to be a cab driver in DC. That's your next move.
What he need to do is woosah. That's what the freak need. That's what he need to do. Y'all won't believe he will stop in the middle of a conversation. You be talking to him. You be like, yeah, Blake, blah, blah, blah. It might be something serious. Like you talking about some issue you experiencing or whatever the case may be. You can get on there and be like, yo, Blake, I got this serious situation. This person did this to me. And then you'll hear you trash, you trash, you trash, you trash. How you get out in front of me like that? Why you get out in front of me like that? I'm sorry for putting you on blast, bro, but that must be funny as I don't know what. I'd be scared to ride with him in New York City or something like that. Somebody get out and shoot us.
Well, yeah, we had a little taste of that a couple Saturdays ago.
Blake, pat, 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 pat.
It'll be the other way around. Pat, 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 pat.
So why do you think that you have road rage like that?
I think it's from living up here.
Yes, he's right.
I also think it's because you don't like people.
I don't know.
No, like traffic up here is like a different beast. It is. And like Blake, I totally understand because I hate driving into the office in Arlington from Leesburg every freaking day. Yeah.
That's tough.
And 7 gets backed up, and then you got to go on 495 into George Washington. It like by the time I get in, sometimes it's like I'm in the car for an hour and 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. See, that's different.
And then when you get on 495, nobody's moving. And then when you go home, nobody's moving. And I completely understand.
See, that's different, Fish. Blake then cussed Tweety Bird's grandma out.
I would too if no one's moving or not making a right-hand turn, no.
Because he didn't went down the block. And Tweety Bird grandma just got a little hat on and he didn't move. I love him though. I love him. I just will never ride
Having
with him.
places to go.
You said what?
We having places to go.
Yeah.
Things to do.
I want to ask this question, but I don't want you to be mad at me for asking it. Anybody in your family ever exhibit those traits as well?
I think I see my mom have road rage before.
See, mine did. And I think that's why I always said to myself that I wasn't going to be like that, because I would see her and I would be like, man, like I get it, but I don't. Cause like you, woo, that's scary. And the crazy part about it, I drive really, really fast, like really, 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 really fast. But Tanisha has road rage, and the kids would rather ride. They feel safer with me than they do with their mama. And I'm driving like I'm in NASCAR.
Hey, can I tell Fish about a cab driver?
Oh God.
So go ahead.
Last time I kept talking so much, Desmond was like, "Shut the hell up, Jay." I kept saying, "But you understand, that cab, Mike."
I did understand.
This cab driver,
he was fast.
Yeah.
This cab driver was the epitome of road rage that I've ever seen. And y'all, I mean, I ain't never rode with somebody like that in my life. Mike, he was slamming on, cutting through, beeping horns. We made it, I believe, from where we were going back to Blake's apartment in like half the time, didn't we?
I feel like both him and the Uber driver got us there in the same amount of time, to be completely honest with you. But I think it's because he took a shortcut.
Blake's in Alexandria, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I was gonna say, geez, what do you get to cross? What, 395 to get to the stadium? I
It was
think.
some bridge we went across.
You had to cross the stage.
Man, and on a Saturday too.
Don't ask Blake because he
After a game too,
After
Mike.
the game on yeah.
he don't know DC.
Dude, it was some kind of. Y'all seen that movie Taxi with Queen Latifah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how he was driving.
What was funny though was that they were all concerned. Like they were like, "Yo, he's driving." I was just hoping the brother wasn't gonna drop us off in a field somewhere. and be like, fend for yourselves. And then we see like some creatures from Fernando's basement come. I'm sorry, Nando. I love you, bro.
No, that's all right.
He gonna get me back, y'all. He gonna get me back.
Jamon,
Yeah,
you want to tell them about the time that I made you leave the concert early to beat the traffic?
Oh my gosh! Hey, this was look. Y'all know how I love my Earth, Wind, and Fire, right? I went to a concert in Greensboro outside. Number one is outside. Earth, Wind, and Fire. So they singing everything. I'm not sitting down. I'm just dancing and everything and all that.
This when Fish lived there?
Yeah, this is when I lived in Greensboro.
So yeah, we was Greensboro, right? So everybody was like, you know, they sing all that song. Then Earth, Wind, and Fire, like, all right, good night. Everybody like, woo, woo, woo. So I'm like, now Mike said, okay, you ready to go? I said, Mike, now if this concert's like all the other concerts, they're gonna come back out and at least sing 3 more songs. And these are gonna be songs that's well known. So I'm just saying that's how it's gonna be. Well, I think we should beat the traffic. Maybe we should just go on and before everybody leaves. I said, all right, Mike, you driving, so that's fine. Let's go on then. So we start walking out. We get to the parking lot and they sang "Do You Remember?"
I can see Jamon now, mad as I don't know what.
You don't understand, Desmond.
And Fish
look, they sang "Do You Remember?" Then secondly, they sang "Boogie Wonderland."
But listen.
And Fantasy.
Road race.
You gotta look at it from Fish's point of view. Yes, you were mad for not hearing those songs, but Fish would have been mad had you had him in that dang traffic because he know about it. He know about it. So
it's Greensboro traffic, though. It's not like Northern Virginia traffic.
I don't know. Like when you guys saw Kevin Hart when you came down to me, like it was like a while to get out of that stadium, right?
It was. It can be. I don't know what Jamon's talking about. It can be. If you parked up in there, if you really parked up in there, like we tend to try to do because we want to be close to the Coliseum, it can be really, really, really a long time to get out of that one.
Yeah.
Jamon, you ain't always had the handicap sticker that we've been able to park close. So. What? You got it legally?
I got it legally, but yeah, that is true. I didn't have any handicap sticker when we went, Mike.
So
that's true.
With that being said, I want to move to my brother Fernando. What is Fernando's minor change? Watch he say something like biting his nails.
No. So anytime I want to do something or buy something that's, I won't say expensive, but like $50 or more, or if I want to go somewhere or plan a trip, instead of figuring out like, you know, how I can make it happen, the first things I think about is why I should not do it. And I'll do that for like the whole first day. And then the next day after I wake up and think about it again is when I'll think about like how I can make it happen or why I should do it.
How many times has this happened and you ended up not getting the item?
All the time. Yeah.
Oh.
It's I don't know, it's weird. Like I start off on the negative foot, right? Like, well, I can't do this or this because what if this happens and what if that happens? You know, so like the what ifs like drive me to be like, all right, I just don't need it.
All right. So obviously this was not a conversation that went through your head for the PS5.
Oh no, it was. I had all that before I actually bought it. And I had it for like months, obviously, because it took forever to find one.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm now wondering, Blake, if there was an opportunity that our brother actually had one in the cart and was actually able to get it, and those thoughts crept up in his mind and he canceled that cart.
I did have an Xbox like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, forget it.
We were talking yesterday. You got the Xbox, right?
Yeah. Now I do, yeah.
That's what I told you.
I remember the episode now, Blake. Interesting. Now that I have that problem too, Nando. I will say that. And sometimes what I'll do is, I'll have a discussion with Tanisha. But the one thing that Tanisha hates that I do, that I used to do really heavily, is I would have a discussion with her. She would say yes, and then I would call my mom and ask her, "Did she think I should get?" I'd be like, "Tanisha, you think I should get this?" She'd be like, "You got the money?" I'd be like, "Yeah." She'd be like, "Well, go ahead and get it." And then like she'd see me 30 seconds later in like Walmart on the phone. Yo, mom. And so then Tanisha would walk over. She'd be like, "Who was you on the phone with?" "Nobody." "Yes, you was. You was on the phone with your mama, won't you?" No, I wasn't on the phone with mama.
I'm an impulse buyer too, though.
Yeah.
So Andrea will get mad because I'll talk to her about it, and she'll just be like, "Yeah, go ahead and get it." And then I'll be like, "I don't know." And then I'll
So why did you
tell her
ask me?
reasons why I shouldn't. Right.
So why did you ask me? Yeah.
You see the price tag sometimes, and some of those zeros at the end kind of defer you. Like just maybe it's better used for something else. I've been there too.
Well, I'll run through my head like, is this gonna sit like the last thing that I thought that I needed set? Because if it does, then chances are I don't need it. I had to start thinking to myself because Nando, well, all of y'all have been in my house, and all of you have seen I got an office, and I would be buying stuff and just throwing stuff in the office, right? And so I got to a point where I was like, I was putting stuff in totes, and I said to myself, if I'm putting stuff in totes, I don't need it, because there's never going to be a chance when I'm going to go and look for a tote, open it, and pull something out. So, like, I got to that point and really just started throwing stuff away. I got stuff probably that I threw away that probably I should have thought about.
Yeah.
Probably should have kept that.
Same here.
What are impulse items that you guys buy? Impulse buy items.
Jerseys.
Soda at the end. Soda at the end of the at the beginning of the checkout aisle.
I'm trying to think of one.
It'd be that, but it also would be like it would be like hoodies and jerseys for me, bro.
Mine is probably something electronic.
Yeah, I was gonna say for me it's something electronic, nothing like major, but like
just like random small electronic devices.
And then I'll use it for like a week and never touch it again.
I got so many smartwatches in my drawer, it's ridiculous. And it's like Tanisha would be like, "You was gonna buy that, you wanted it, you bought it, and you wore it for a day, and then you put it in the drawer."
Lunch and dinner also out too, Blake, where like I don't feel like cooking, and like instead I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna buy lunch and dinner out.
Heavy on what Fish said.
Yep.
I don't buy a lot of jerseys, Jamon. Unless they say Man's World. But yeah, I didn't get into that whole hype. I didn't get into the whole hype of buying jerseys. Your Kobe Bryant Lakers jersey is the only jersey that I
was bad with jerseys. My closet I have a whole nother closet just full of jerseys right now. I mean, I've got my, I used to like just I guess regular shirts, but now every shirt I get now has got to have something on it. You know what I'm saying? It's got to have like something on it. I just can't ride like a regular plain shirt anymore. And that's been going on for like the last 2-3 years. I go to this place called tpublic.com, and I know I'm like an MVP with them now because it's I stayed on that website just getting 2 and 3 at a time and things like that. But everything I get now has got to have something, whether it be a shirt or a hoodie or something's got to have something on it though. So
they probably got a backslash area that says /Jamon.
They really do. I know they do. They have to.
You still got the Wizzles jersey?
I do. That's upstairs. That's upstairs.
Nah,
And
Fish, the one you should ask him is if he got that one that he first got that was sold up.
no,
in
your
the
son,
middle.
yeah, your son has it. No, your son, no, Jonathan didn't want that. I
No,
just say,
Jonathan didn't take that, man. Jonathan saw it and was
yeah.
like, this don't even look right.
yeah, like
The White Sox one?
no. Oh, you know, has Mike heard this story?
Mike is Mike
I
knows
think I know.
about
I'm
this
trying to
story.
remember the jersey that you had, though.
It was
the
one that was
Wizards Bulls Jordan jersey that he got from eBay. Somebody had sold it together to be that two-tone jersey. He was all hype about it. I know you remember. It was back in it. It was a long time ago.
and it was like literally sewn together. It won't like looking like you know a normal jersey like this, like two-tone. It was like literally two jerseys that were sewn together.
The one thing that I always would be like, why did Jamon get those? Them dang Spreewells.
Oh.
Y'all remember them?
Yeah.
Oh, the splinter shoes?
Yes. And I would be like, Jamon, and he would be showing them off too. Look, y'all.
Now wait, I will say this: when what was
Then
it?
those joints stopped working.
This was an impulse buy, and I remember it was in Lynchburg when I just moved there. But you remember Stephen Barry's the store?
Yes,
Whoa,
bro.
The Spreewells?
No, not the
The Starburys.
Starburys. That's right, Starburys.
Starburys. You could go and get 12 pair of Starburys for a pair of Jordans.
They had like
Them
they
joints
had
was
the
fresh,
college
though.
T-shirts and everything that were like $5.
Yep.
And I used to buy like 10 shirts for like $50.
Yep.
And that was an impulse buy because I saw how like, you know, inexpensive everything was. And I had just moved to Lynchburg. I was 22 years old. I needed clothes. Yeah.
Oh, Blake, I had an impulse buy recently when I bought them polo shoes and that polo shirt. I was like, yo, I need a matching polo tee, socks, and boxers.
You didn't need that.
That's why it's an impulse buy. That's why it's called an impulse buy, Blake. That's what we're talking about here. And I did need it because Lil Wayne said polo t-shirt, polo draws.
That's awesome.
So I bought 3 polo t-shirts, some polo socks, 3 pairs, and yeah, polo boxers. And I look like a clown in them when I only have the t-shirt, the socks, and the drawers on. Be trying to look sexy for Tanisha.
No.
Yeah, I keep Amazon in business. I know I do.
Oh, me too. Me too. So we made Jeff Bezos a billionaire.
Yep.
We continue to make him a millionaire. Yeah.
Don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I would get packages on the daily, and it would be sickening because people would be like, "Oh, it's UPS truck. He must be going to 20 that boy's house."
Headed to Desmond's.
Headed to Desmond's. The mailman got out one time, looked at my wife, and was like, "I mean, does he stop?"
Oh, that's funny.
This was a great episode, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Great episode. I appreciate everybody being so open about what their minor changes would be. That's dope. Anybody with any final words?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Bet. Well, as always, this is a man's world, so it's our world and it's our rules. Want y'all to know, please check out my Tar Heels, as I said, as they take on Kansas tomorrow. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I'm just excited that they beat Duke. At the end of the day, for me, all that ever matters is we beat Duke, and we beat them in the first ever appearance that we had together in the Final Four. Coach K's last game, Hugh Davis's first Final Four appearance as a coach. Dope to me. Dope. Hubert Davis. Are y'all familiar? Y'all are familiar with him, right?
Uh-huh.
His oldest son actually goes to the school here, one of the schools here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I didn't want to say what school it is because I don't want somebody to be watching this and then But yeah, he's in the area, which is dope. So I'm gonna try to find him and be like, yo, can you. But like I said, as always, this is a man's world. It's our
Oh, wait a
world.
minute. Who y'all got for tonight? Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns? WrestleMania Sunday.
Randy Orton, Jamon.
Well, Orton is not in the.
None of that matters because Stone Cold wrestled last night.
I'm going for Reigns tonight.
I was like, it doesn't get any better than this. Today, the only thing that could have made yesterday better for me is if I had seen the New Edition concert. That would have been dope. I would have been able to go to New Edition, the Tar Heels would have won, and Stone Cold returns.
Well, Desmond, you can make it there. It's in Charlotte. You got 3 hours. You get there by 7.
I am not driving to Charlotte. I'll tell you that right now. I love Charlotte, but I'm not going there. We will see you all next week. As always, we love you and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Join us again next week as we take on, I believe, Fish. You got next week's topic if you're available.
Yeah.
So we look forward to it, my brother. Listen, if you see any of us on the street, please don't walk up to us and slap us because it'll be on site. We will see you next time. Peace from Man's World. We love y'all.